And welcome to the Invincible podcast. I'm your host, yes, the host, Lee Judges. I have got two, well, they're regulars now, aren't they? Like, you know, we've got Chris, who I'm going to say, like, Chris on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, was you, Marty, was you on time today?
No, I wasn't.
Why was you not on time?
I wasn't on time. I got the wrong filming time. The wrong filming time.
The wrong filming time?
Yeah,
like.
I actually thought I was going to be a bit early, but it turned out that I was half an hour out, so I'm very sorry.
No, that's all right, like, you know.
Well,
what we like is that you put the effort in and jogged it here, like, you know what I mean? So
Listen, I put the miles in, mate. I got in there and it was, I'll tell you what, it was a bit of a sprint, to be honest. On that note of sprinting, how's the AFTV injury update?
Well, we're getting a bit better,
A bit better.
Okay, so what, matter of days, matter of weeks?
Yeah, well, another 2 weeks.
Another couple of weeks, okay. What about you,
there's
Lee?
no setbacks. I think, like, you know,
Okay.
I mean, like, I'm in a good position at the moment. Like, you know, it could be starting train. Good news is I had my scan last week and no operation required.
Good.
So that's good news. So,
Well done.
but I still think it's a matter of weeks, not days. You know what I mean? That might have something to do with the age more than anything else. But yeah, listen. First and foremost, I'm looking for your fan cam and looking for your, hosting duties, and apparently you was axed for.
I got rotated, yeah. Well, axed, rotated, whatever you want to call it.
So you was Jokeres, was that what we're saying here?
Oh, I'd like to think so, mate. Maybe.
You've got to come back with a bang today.
Declan Rice.
Declan
I suppose
Rice,
he
you
came
say
in,
he was
didn't
Declan?
Well, I suppose he played a bit, though. Or Martin Odegaard.
Skipper. Yeah, I like that. Like, you know, what I mean, not thinking like a Miles Lewis Skelly or Nketiah or anything. You're going big. You're going big with one of the big boys, like, you know what I mean?
Definitely not Kepa.
Yeah. You
hope
could have
not,
mentioned
anyway.
Kepa as being the goalkeeper, but no, you've gone big with Declan, like, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have actually, to be fair.
I love it, like, that way. So, listen, we're all in good spirits, aren't we, after Tuesday? I'm going to be really honest, I didn't expect it. I actually thought that we might not win that game because I felt that Inter Milan needed it more. When you look at the table now, they desperately did, like, you know, and they've got a difficult game against Dortmund now. Is it Dortmund? I think they've got Dortmund. But listen, we're there. First or second, can't be beaten.
And it ain't, I mean, that's the second season on the trot, gentlemen, that in Europe we've been outstanding.
Yeah.
Look how well we did last year in the group fixtures.
Arrived at the promised land.
It is.
One game early, and we've afforded ourselves an ability to, that Kairat game, they're bottom with 1 point. We're top, and we can heavily rotate. It's basically a sort of a bye week, essentially. It's a nice, could be a nice training exercise, nice run out for the guys, you know.
Definitely, and also, before we get into the game, you know, I mean, the concept of what happens. Man City dropped out of that top 8 now, so they could actually have another couple of games, which would which would be nice, wouldn't it? Like, you know what I mean? You want to see your rival sort of having that extra couple of games, and also like the format's changed now, where we're away. Whatever happens now, we're away until obviously we get knocked out or get to the final, which is in the second leg, which is, I think, is a big thing, guys. I do like, you know.
Well, the thing is, it's an interesting point there, Lee, because if you look at, I was looking at the day, looking at our fixtures, after Leeds away, right, we do not travel out, we only have 3 games where we travel out of London, after Leeds away next week.
Okay.
Wolves,
Yeah.
Brighton, Man City. I'll tell you something, it's an amazing advantage.
Yeah, because I agree with that, because we was talking about this in Italy, like, you know, it has been a difficult 4 games for us. I know, like, we've like 4 away games on the spin, you know what I mean? To come out of them, you know, it's difficult to win away from home. All right, Portsmouth, you expect that, like, you know what I mean? But then you go, like, obviously away to Chelsea in the Cup, away to Nottingham Forest who are fighting for their lives, and then away to Inter Milan who beat us last season. So, you know, you have to give credit for that. Let's just go back a little bit before the Italy game, Nottingham Forest. Now, how are we feeling after? How was we feeling? I'll tell you how I was feeling. When we was
I know.
We was buzzing. buzzing before the game. You know, obviously Man United, Man City, that happened. Then we was in the studio and the last kick. West Ham winner. We knew that was, even though we was watching it on the Soccer Saturday, when we knew that they had a corner and then Tim Sherwood went goal. So we knew that it was West Ham, didn't we? It was a great moment, like, you know. Buzzing for it. I didn't even watch Match of the Day that night. I couldn't watch it. I was really down about, not so much the result and whenever. It was the performance that done me.
I think look, like you said, I think it was the intense high before the game, knowing the result of the City game, and then obviously the Tottenham, and then we were just not that great, and obviously we had clear-cut chances with the Martinelli open goal to finish it. And for me, what really done it, if I'm honest with you, was that penalty decision, and I will not. You know, I don't know in what planet that where the hand goes to the ball. Whether it's, I don't care whether it touched his body anywhere else, whether it bounced off and rolled around anywhere. That was a blatant handball. He's moved his arm towards the ball. We knew he was trying to stop it going for a corner. It was like one of those reactions.
Yeah,
in football that you just kind of go and then you think, oh, what have I done here? It was a penalty. It's a blatant penalty. I mean, the VAR had a stinker that weekend or that day. Before it, the Manchester United game. I don't know how that's not a red card. Studs on the knee. You know, it was only light contact. It's a completely high challenge. It's nearly a leg breaker. So it's just inconsistency. We've seen it time and time again with VAR. And that, for me, was the frustrating part. And then obviously not getting the result. And then you think, it's at this time of year, you think, And obviously, when you're around... Listen, you're around a lot of people that aren't happy as well. It kind of puts you in that. But then on reflection of that game, sitting back, everyone dropped points, you know, and we gained a point. So we're now, you know, we didn't know
that at the time, did we, Chris? We didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, but I wasn't that shocked about the draw.
You actually said on the show last week that you felt it would be a 1-1, didn't you? You felt it would be a draw.
I thought it would be a draw because I knew he wouldn't rotate as much as what he should have done. He didn't. And I just thought we looked a bit heavy-legged. But I think what we got to try and do, I know it's hard, but if we drop a point, I think we got to say to ourselves, it's not the end of the world. Because I'm thinking about all the league titles I've seen Arsenal win. So I go back to 71.
Yeah.
Only 2, or possibly 3, have been when I've been chilled out. All the others have been when I've looked back and I thought,
well, what ones have been chilled out?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Invincibles.
Were you chilled out with that one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Invincibles. 91 under Jules Graham, where we lost 1.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. They're the 2 that I look back. But all the others, if you look...
Yeah, listen, that's a great point. And I even look back at 98. I enjoyed 98 because we never looked like we was going to win it. And then we was on a roll, weren't we? Do you know when you're on that roll and you just know, didn't you? You just knew that the momentum was there.
And the ultimate was 89, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened now. Imagine the state we'd all be in.
Well, I was in a state. I tell you. Do you remember that game against Derby? Like when we you know, for people that don't know this, right?
And Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. We actually went into the final 3 games of the season, right? Needing to win 2 games, right, to guarantee the title, right? We had Wimbledon at home and Derby at
2
home
draw,
as well.
wasn't it, the Wimbledon at home?
We drew and lost.
Yeah.
And then we had Liverpool, like. But at the end of the day, so we actually went... Do you remember that game against Derby? It was a nice sunny sort of day. I'll never forget it. We was all there to win the league. We all thought that we was going to win the league that day, and we lost 1-0, I think it was.
And I remember that day. Even now, I felt suicidal.
So yeah, wow. It was like all that, you know, all that time we'd been in it, and we was going to blow it, and we thought we had blown it, like, you know.
Do you remember what made it worse? You remember on the Monday, Liverpool beat West Ham 5-0, didn't they?
5-1.
5-1.
That's it.
Leroy Rossini, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I remember the radio commentator said, "That's it, Arsenal blown it."
But then, just on that note, is it, you know, listen, I'd love us to get the title wrapped up early doors and get like I said, the Carabao Cup. But, you know, like 89, let's take that. Is it because things go to the wire? How, literally, that went to the last seconds of the game. Yeah. And that was probably one of the most memorable, it's up there with one of the most memorable moments in footballing history.
Without that, and I don't want to, you know, dig Chris out here because he's a little bit older. I don't remember 71, right? Okay, so I want to get that out there, right?
Well, I do.
I don't remember 71. So I'm in a position where I'm, you know, like
Do you not,
youngish,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was born, but I don't remember
Right,
it, right?
okay.
Okay, like, you know what I mean? Let's get out.
I do.
Right. So through my Arsenal life, and Chris will relate to this, like, I never ever thought Arsenal growing up as a kid were ever going to win the league. I'm watching Nottingham Forest do it. I'm watching Liverpool, Everton, and I'm thinking we're never going to ever be that good. Like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, George Graham come in and he changed things around. So we'd won the league League Cup in '87, lost the League Cup final against Luton in '88, and now we're going into '89. 16-1 we was to win the league that season, right? So no one fancied us. And all of a sudden, there we are. From probably January onwards, we've won this.
Yeah.
We'd won it. And it was just, you know, like, enjoy it, wasn't it? Enjoy it while you can, sort of thing.
Well, so my main point is that you ain't gonna. It's not going to be a procession from now to May. That's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah,
at.
exactly.
But I understand because people with the last, especially forget the last 2 or 3 years, we've blown it, haven't we? And it's
Do you think that's causing a little bit? Because I'm going to say something now.
Is.
I'm going to say something now. I said it in my fan game, and about pressure, right? And this is how I feel as a fan, right? When we played Portsmouth, I was quite relaxed.
The same, isn't it?
Right? When we played Chelsea, semi-final, relaxed. Played Nottingham Forest, I'm a nervous wreck, right? Went to Milan on Tuesday, relaxed.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm feeling like that as a fan, are the players feeling like that, or is it a different thing? Or do they sense that we're a little bit more? Because come Sunday, I'm going to be a wreck again. You know what I mean? Like, I've really enjoyed the cup games because it's been like, oh well, it's a different pressure. And like people go, well, you can still get knocked out. Yeah, listen, we drew against Crystal Palace, right? That would be disastrous if that was a league game. But we had the penalties to get us over the line and we got through.
But you can hear that at the Emirates in league games, can't you? You can hear this sort of sense of anxiety within the crowd. I feel it. I don't know if anyone else does. In league games, everyone's on edge.
I'm on edge.
Yeah.
I am on edge when it comes to the league games because I think, you know, I look at the game against Forest and like, forget whether you think, like a lot of people go, oh, we could have been 9 points in front and all that. Like, that can happen in games, as we know, like, you know. But the fact of the matter is, and my mate Russ, who, you know, like Woggy, made a great point. He goes, if Arsenal would have won 5-0 against Nottingham Forest, right, yeah, and we played the best football we'd ever done, right, and won 5-0, and Man City would have won 1-0, we'd be 6 points clear.
Yeah.
But the way it's turned out, we're 7 points clear. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can't get your head mixed. I mean, we do, but you can't, can you? Like, you don't really know what's round the corner.
Like I said, the bottom line is with that weekend, when come Monday, it was like, look, we've gained a point. We're 7 points clear instead of 6 points. And, you know, it was even on the Sunday, there was this, Villa are going to catch up. Villa are going to be 4 points behind us. And I remember saying, I said, listen, don't worry about Villa to loads of people. And they went, no, they'll be 4 points behind us. You know, they're not genuine title contenders. They will fall off.
2 bad injuries now they've had.
Yep.
And the McGinn.
Yep.
See, I've got a question now, right?
Go on.
Okay, because like, in that game, I thought Aston Villa dominated the game, right? And right,
I know where this is going.
and we was having a conversation on in Italy, like, you know what I mean. And I come out with it, right, that football is the only game you can dominate and not win, right? Some smart arse in our group, and I'm not going to mention who it is, right, come up and we've won and sort of shot me down in flames, right? And when I look back now, I couldn't argue it. But my argument is, right, you look at, if you was a rugby, if you dominate rugby, you cannot lose because you're dominating it. It's just not going to happen. Tennis, if you dominate tennis, you're going to win it, right? Cricket, if you dominate cricket, you're going to win it, right? What other sports are there? And that you can dominate and still lose. Now, Ryan in there come up with one. Should we tell them what that one is?
Yep.
Which is boxing. Like, you can dominate 11 rounds of boxing
And knocked out.
and get knocked out, right? But there's another sport. And can you think of what it is?
Oh, come on.
Well, along with, I imagine, the obvious MMA, which is a sort
That's
of
not
similar.
a sport.
MMA is a
Wrestling's not a
sport.
sport. Let's get that right.
What, MMA?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
UFC, yeah, that is. Same,
Yeah, I
similar
suppose
thing.
so.
Similar to that, you could dominate for 3 or 5, 5 rounds and then get done.
Do you reckon, if you was totally dominant, and even with boxing, if you're totally dominating, would you actually wear him down, knock him out anyway?
Yeah, but it doesn't always work like that. You've seen fights.
You're totally dominant. I mean, totally dominate in a boxing match.
Yeah.
So
There
that means,
are
like,
fights.
your gloves are down. You can't really do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I'm going to say the
I
boxing.
think it's Frock and Durrell or Andre Ward. Cole Frock got dominated and literally knocked him out in the last seconds to go, and he got dominated. He got knocked down in the third,
So
I think, or the second.
total domination, and you can still get. You can do it.
think
I think it was-
I don't think it'll happen, but in football, it happens quite a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Oh, well, go on, Chris.
The
You
cup
take
final, Man U.
totally. We ended up winning on penalties. They totally
Cardiff.
dominate.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes, I do. Yes. Wow.
Another one. Arsenal-Liverpool at Cardiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry. Was it the handball on the line?
Where the referee, we at the bar,
Yeah.
and then Owen won it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's one sport.
Oh, I don't know, mate.
Do you want me to tell you what it is? It's a little like, if you're playing snooker, there's a clue. If you're playing snooker, right, if you dominate on the table, you win.
Right.
All right, there's a clue. No?
Go on.
So it's another game with cues.
Not Paul.
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 Yeah.
Well, you can dominate Paul, and then
Right.
you can knock the black in.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I had to concede that one. And it's true. I try to argue it. I think you can argue boxing, you can argue any other sport. But when he said that, sly little git, I had to hold my hands up and say,
I
yeah.
wonder who that was.
Yeah, you know who it was. We know who it was. Yeah, and he threw him out of the car. But there you go, yeah, so like, but it is, and you look back at that game, Villa dominated it, but Everton nicked it. And there's been games like that, that can happen, and you got to be wary of it, but listen.
What are we thinking about Man City at the moment?
I think they're in a world of bother. I really do. Honestly, I see that Bodo Glimt game, and Rodri looks like he's still on crutches. He's just lost a yard of pace somewhere. He just didn't. He was completely off the pace. Defensively, that Vardiol and Diaz injuries at the back, they're just so vulnerable. That Bodo Glimt side, they've got absolutely no. I know it was -9, and obviously those conditions they would be used to. That it's a plastic pitch. Take a couple of. Oh, listen, I'm not making excuses. I'm glad they got done, but the performance from that team was nowhere near the level, and it should have been more as well. And then you see Manchester City against Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, I think Carrick might be sorting them out. I think their formation and the personnel that they're putting in, using Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know why Amarin didn't do that. For me, that's an obvious. They look a lot better, but they absolutely tore City apart. And there's, Pep looks a wounded man.
Chris, you asked the question so you can answer it. Like, how I look at it is, I think in my head, I'm looking at Manchester City of 2 years ago, 3, 4, like over the last.
Yeah, we all are.
But if you was a neutral and breaking it down and everything like that, they're not the same team as they were a few seasons ago.
And Harden hasn't scored. He scored 1 in 8, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's.
And that was a penalty. So the thing is, obviously you're sitting there saying to yourselves, well, long may this continue, but it can't, can it? Because they bought the geezer from Palace, so he might make an improvement. Back.
John Stones is coming. John Stones is coming back, and Gay, but they've got a gel together. And who's to say Gay's going to work at Man City? And that's it.
Arsenal,
If they get if they get turned over by Wolves on Saturday,
I won't believe that.
Right? No, imagine they do. If that happens, I think that would be absolutely catastrophic for Man City. I think that could be their season going right there.
They had a run last season very similar to this one.
They did.
Right, you know. So what's your thoughts on City then?
I can't believe they're going to be this bad forever. But there's a lot of rumours about Pep and all, isn't there?
Yeah.
So is that, and also we got to mention it, the 115. You know, the thing it.
Do you think that might be coming a bit closer and that's affecting?
We don't know what's going on. It could be. That might be an explanation.
But then they're signing players, aren't they? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
I think we got to worry about ourselves.
Yeah, I think we've got to worry about ourselves. What I see also with City is that, you know what I mean, there they are again, struggling with a couple of injuries and they go out and buy players. There's never, where's the coaching? Where's the manager with his coaching skills? Make players better and all that. Like, don't seem to happen like that. I actually see, I don't know if you've seen this, when he's walking out at Man United, there, here comes the checkbook coach. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so I'm a bit of a believer of that. Like, you know what I mean? So listen, at the end of the day, the Bodo Glimt one, I don't think's terminal damage for the Champions League hopes. I still think whatever happens, they're qualified for the knockout stages, whether they go via.
They got 2 extra fixtures.
But that could go through 2 extra games, which is good. Still pressure on them to do that. You know, while we're sitting at home having a break, so that's a good thing. So it'd be very, very interesting to see what happens with City, like, you know. And I'll tell you what, I don't know about what you guys think. Wolves have slightly improved.
Yeah, they have.
They're defensively a lot better. You know, like Newcastle couldn't break them down. I don't think it's like where 4, 5, 6 weeks ago it was a gimme. You know, and also, like, you know, when you have these sort of runs and all that, like, you know, they are to get out of, Chris.
The thing is, we're talking about Wolves 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we're playing. If we was playing a Man United of Hammering, I'll be looking forward to
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
I'll be going for a 2-3-0.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute, like, you know what I mean? But listen, we'll go back to Italy now. We're there. Can I be honest?
Yes.
All right. Did you see that coming, that performance?
No.
I never see it coming. Was that one of our best performances? I think it's got to be up there as one of our best away performances for a very, very long while.
Do you know what the thing that was mad about that is? I'll be honest. I went into that game kind of conceding, make the changes, you know, rotate and
7 changes he made.
I know. We don't need the result. And it was kind of like I was like watching it just you know, for fun. And they go and put in a performance like that. And even when they equalised, there was not one part that I thought, do you know what, we're going to go on and win it. Like how we played and how we're phenomenal. I thought we were absolutely fantastic. I thought Mascara he was outstanding. And this guy's come off a long injury layoff and come in and perform. There was a time there was a 2-on-1 at the back, and he does enough to put one, you know, put the player off. Then gets over to Thuram and puts him off. And it's like at one point he's in complete and utter no man's land, but he goes to one and then goes to the other. And I just thought, do you know what? What a player.
12 million.
Yeah. Unbelievable. The fitness levels of him was unreal. So, you know, when we do criticise the medical staff, and I'm one that does when we get players injured and everything. But I have to say that Jesus has come back from a long-term injury. He's looked as sharp as I've ever seen anybody come back from an injury. Yeah. And Mascara come in like he's never been away.
Yeah.
So you've got to give these guys some.
You know, the Champions League, it suits Jesus, doesn't it? If you look at his Arsenal goal scoring where it was in Champions League, it's really good. Yeah. And you know another thing, you know Saka, in the Premier League, how many minutes? 6 minutes, whack. 15 minutes, whack.
Yeah. Yep.
Didn't happen in the Champions League, did it? They never got near him.
I think the football in Champions League really suits us. It's sort of end to end.
Yeah, it's more open. Teams are good, aren't they? Let's be honest. Teams in the Champions League are good. They're winning the leagues or they're challenging for titles. So they fancy themselves wherever they go. So they, like that game Inter Milan. Inter Milan weren't going to go in there and put up blocks. They were going to come there to win. And that probably suited us more than being the pressure side of it. It was a good game of football as well. Like, you know, when you watch it, it was a good game of football. Too good to. But I felt like you, even when it went 1-1, I thought we was far superior.
Once the game's back, I was relaxed. See, it's weird, isn't it?
So do you think the players are that there? That's my question. Do you think the players are relaxed, knowing that it's cup football is different to the league?
Possibly, yeah.
Do you think it could be like so they could be a bit more edgy when it comes to the league games, or?
Possibly. Mainly because the criticism's always there, isn't it? Arsenal going to blow it. Arsenal bottle jobs. You know, it's always there, isn't it? But,
you know, when you go like someone put up a thing the other day. I see. I don't know where it was now. I see it, but you got Man United fans. You know, we're going to Man United now. That Man United fans give it. Oh, we're going to come there, wreck your title, bottle jobs, and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Then do you remember when Aguero scored the goal for them to win the league? Right. I think with 4 games left in that, Man United was 6-7 points in front. Right, Aguero comes back and the rest is history. Like, I didn't hear no one going Man United bottle jobs. It was all about Man City winning the league. But
I think also because with Arsenal we're allowed, you know, social media, we're allowed that. It's just something that they can hit us with. It's, you know, second, you know, three seasons in a row. They like to have a laugh at us, and that's it. And it's I think one of the only things they really can pull up.
You know, when you go back to 98, Chris, 10 points cleared, Man United, like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah, you can't. I'm not saying
happens,
anything.
Doesn't it?
Remember, we come second 3 years under Wenger.
Yeah.
So, you know, people forget that.
Great performances. I'm bringing up Mascaro, outstanding. I've got to bring him up.
Yep.
I've got to bring him up. Miles Lewis-Skelly. I'm so pleased with his
Wonderful
performance.
second half.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, I'm pleased for him.
Timber hadn't played well at Nottingham Forest. It's a decision we're going to. I've got to do my predicted 11, so there's going to be a couple of things in there. But like, very, very pleased with him. Mascara. I'm going to say Jesus was outstanding. Right, you've made a great point there, Champions League, and you backed it up with a few little stats there, which is what I like, Chris. Comes Sunday. Who are you playing?
I've got a bit. See, now, remember last year when we played Man United and Jesus went into that game on the back of a hat trick? Do you remember that? Well, he did.
Yeah.
So, what, a Crystal Palace hat trick?
Yeah, and then we played Man U in the Cup.
Right.
And that's where he picks up his injury.
Yes, he did.
So then I'm also thinking about what you said about you got to be careful. So my answer is I'll leave him on the bench.
So,
right, okay. I don't think I'm going to say something now. Like, if someone says to me I'm playing Gyökeres or I'm not going to be going. You what?
I'm looking at the game.
I'm looking at everything, like, you know.
30 minutes to go. What a weapon to bring on.
do you know what? And I think this is the bit. If you start him, you've got to play him for 60 minutes, and I think he might be starting to get into that place where you can, but you've got to be careful. What I liked about Gyökeres the other night, and I think this might be potentially the way to play him. He came on against a defence that was stretched and tired, you know, that had been hounded for, you know, however many minutes. And then when he goes to take his goal, that fantastic ball that's put through from Martinelli, runs onto it. I love it how he passed to Saka, and Saka didn't part. He had no choice. It hit Saka, and he just rifles it into the top corner. And is it a case of bringing Gyökeres on when the game's a bit later on, the latter stages, and he's coming on fresh, and he can dart around and do what he's got to do like the other night? Or do you start him because, listen, the last thing you want is Jesus broken down.
But where's Havertz and all this?
Well, Havertz has got to play against Kirat, hasn't he? Like, I mean, I think that he has. I think we've had, you know, the ideal situation was to get Havertz on probably...
get 10, 15 minutes in his legs, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not been able to happen. Probably against Forest as well, it didn't happen. And
that Gyökeres goal the other night was something out of his Sporting Lisbon CV, wasn't it?
That was fantastic.
It was. And what this is how I see it now. I don't know what's... I think if you're playing against Man United on Sunday, as you say, like, physically, him coming on when you're just quite... You're running on fumes, you're empty after 70 minutes. Then to go to a physical battle against him when he's fresh is difficult.
Well, you know.
So there's an option with that. I've gone Jesus because of that before, but I'm in the camp that how can I say this? I'm going like, and I did such. I was with Cecil on Tuesday night. I said, as soon as he scored, I said, right. I said like, because I want it. I don't know how you feel about it. I want players to come in and not just be coming in, just going, oh well, you're only playing today and you're going to be out there. I want those players coming in, going right. I want to be playing the next game. This is my opportunity to make sure. And I said, if he comes in and scores, that I want him saying, that's me. I want him to say, I'm playing against Man United. Bangs in one, then he gets the second one. I'm saying, he's definitely playing against Man United now. Like. Then Gyökeres comes on. What I liked about that was he goes, right, if I don't do nothing here, I'm on the bench. And he's gone out there and made it a real difficult decision for it. And I think Miles Lewis-Skelly's done exactly the same.
So that brings us on to Eze.
And it does bring us on to Eze. I don't think Eze done enough, Chris.
Funny enough, I must be in the minority. I don't think he played that bad.
No, I didn't think he... I'm with you. I don't think he was bad. I thought he was OK. I didn't think he had a bad game. But was that enough of a performance to get him over Odegaard? I'm not sure. But what I expect now is I do expect Odegaard to come in. And if he doesn't hit the levels that he should... If he's OK... then I'm a little bit thin because there's been a lot of criticism coming on, especially with Wanyeri going out on loan now. Like you know, so Odegaard's got to do the business. But you know, I thought, do you think that am I being a little bit of an evil or whatever? I'm thinking that Mikel went, I'm taking Eze off because I don't want him to play well at the end because the game was opening up, we're winning it. And he took him off, didn't he?
I think it was a case of bring on the cavalry. He brings on Martinelli, Declan Rice, Marino, and it was too much for Inter Milan. So, you know,
or perhaps he wanted to bring him on so they could get their second yellows.
Yeah, well,
they definitely did, didn't they?
100%, 100%. There's no way. Listen, that's being professional. Get on, get your yellows clear, 100%.
Because I actually looked about it. This is the amazing thing about it. Like, and we're going to talk about this in a sec. My little rant. I'm going to have a rant, but you got to watch. You got to watch Martinelli's pass. And I said, pass? I didn't even see a pass. Like, when I see it, it's unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
Right. And looking back on it, I do think Declan Rice and Marino. Definitely, and I'm not like, you know, they've done it deliberately. Like, not maybe because like they want to miss the game, but I think like I don't know, it gets taken on to the next round as well, doesn't it? Like, you know what I mean? So maybe they just thought like, right, let's get the opportunity and get it done. So
100%, you're playing Kairat, like get it done. It doesn't matter if you don't need Declan Rice on the pitch for that. They're bottom of the Champions League. They've got 1 point. They've been absolutely battered left, right, and centre, and if we can't, we're at home as well.
He said, like, make sure you know, because they were cynical bookings as well. It's not like, you know what I mean. They knew exactly what he's doing. Pull of the shirt,
of course.
You know, so we're saying that's clever work.
Yeah, of course it is. All day long. All day long. We see Calafiori do it early on this season as well because he was on 4 yellows and he picked up the game, and it was because we had Wolves next. It actually sort of nearly cost us. I can't remember. I think was it against Brighton, so he missed the Wolves game. Listen, you've got to do it.
Oh, that is true, like, you know. Well, before we go quickly on to Man United and everything like that, just want to say wonderful time in Italy. Lovely country, lovely place, Milan. I don't know if anybody's been there, but it is wonderful. Like, you know, you can go there for a holiday, like city visits, fantastic, beautiful place, right? And then comes along match day, and it completely and utterly changes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's an absolute disgrace how Arsenal fans are perceived after that, and probably all English fans. Like, you know, I know sometimes we don't do ourselves any favours. We're always drunk and things like that. Like blah 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 blah. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't. As far as I know, in the town centre and that it was all good humour but nothing problems and that. As soon as you get to the ground, kept caged in for ages. Like, you know, they take you up with 1 minute to go for the you know, like the kick off. You've got this plastic you know, like screen in front of you. Then you've got netting. You're high up. You're trying to dodge in it, look in at that. The experience of going into an Italian game is horrendous, you know. And then when they come, like Robbie said it as well, when they come to the Emirates, they have like this low. I've had enough of it now.
Padded seats.
I've had enough of it now. Like, you know, I want Arsenal, any team that puts us where they are in games like that, we do exactly the same. I don't care about safety and things like that. Sort it out, get a netting up and all that, like, and make it as uncomfortable as it is for us when we go away from it. Do you know what? It's a wonderful stadium, by the way, like to look at and everything like that. But if we get pulled out of them again, I think to myself, do you know what?
I won't bother.
I won't bother. You know what I mean? Like, the atmosphere is not as great because, you know, like, you're high up and everything like that. I just think, like, Arsenal fans, I'm just talking about Arsenal fans at the moment, I don't think we deserve to be treated like that, because we've always been pretty good away from home in Finland. I don't see any trouble at Arsenal.
I suppose in a way it's a bit like Newcastle away, isn't it? Why they stick Arsenal fans up in the gods?
Unbelievable. Don't enjoy it.
Why don't we do that when they come here?
I think that it's something that we've got to look at doing, like, you know what I mean? Newcastle, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best away grounds. If I've never been there, you know, on the low, you know, say like as a neutral, like I'd love to, because everybody says what a wonderful atmosphere it is, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we was in the hotel with the Newcastle boys back in Singapore, they were saying, "Oh, the atmosphere is great and all that," and we're going, "Well, we don't know," and that's the genuine we don't know, because you're all the way up there. Like, they laughed. I think it's like, yeah, we put you up there and all that, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I do think it does affect the atmosphere of games. And, you know, like, you can't hear, the players can't hear you and everything like that. So I do think it's something that Arsenal have got to look at doing. I really do. Like, you know, anybody that treats us like that, we should treat them back like
Definitely,
that.
100%.
Because in Italy, though, they do have quite a big football ultra.
There is a big, like...
And it's not like here, because football's sanitised in this country. You know, the Premier League is... Remember what David Dean said about, you know, when you used to go to a game in England, the toilets would be running full of piss.
Yeah.
The burgers, you'd have to queue up the food, shit. But look at the Premier League. Look at the grounds in this country. They're wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah, it's changed, yeah.
And in Europe, they haven't really caught up with that yet, so...
No, I agree, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know...
They do nets and screens from their home fans. I was watching a Marseille-Liverpool game last night, and one of their ends is all netted in as well. I don't know whether that's the away fans or the home fans.
I don't know. You know, wherever you go, there's always nets. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the only country on par with us could be Germany, couldn't it?
Mm.
Germany's a good experience, but even in Munich, you chucked high up, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like, I understand. I get that. You know, Real Madrid was unbelievable experience, but you're right high up and all that, like, you know.
Well, I was lucky there, Lee. I got a seat.
So you was all right, like, yeah. So, but when Real Madrid come to us a week before, 2 weeks before, they was all down lower and having a great time, like, you know what I mean? I just think at the end of the day, Arsenal fans don't deserve it, because I think we're very, very well behaved when we go away from home, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, we have a few drinks, yeah, there's a few get drunk and all that, but on the whole, we're pretty good, right? And always have been all through our time. And I just think at the end of the day, we should just be treated a little bit better. And listen, I ain't going to say it, like, you know, when at Atlanta you get bussed in because there's zones you're not allowed to go in, and they've got people watching at Atlanta, like young kids watching. So if there's any supporters, like, to let you know, that can be a little bit funny. Obviously Napoli it is, you know, but the experience, but away from the you know, even at Atlanta you weren't allowed to go into zones and places in the match day, but away from match day. Fantastic food, fantastic in Italy, restaurants.
But just to make your point, remember when Arsenal played Sampdoria in the semi-finals in '93? You talk about any Arsenal fan who went, that's the worst experience of their football lives. So that's Italy in 1993.
Yeah.
And here you are in 2026.
Still saying the same.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just such a shame, because realistically, I think if you was to go with your missus, your partner, say, Italy is one of the most spectacular places to go to, like, you know what I mean? People are so friendly, you know, so helpful. The restaurants are just different class, you know what I mean? So it just spoils it with a little bit of experience. Like, but that's my little rant about that. Anyway,
they're knocking that down, aren't they, San Siro?
Well, I think that they are. Like, such a wonderful looking stadium outside. Honestly, if you walk round it,
Italia
so-
90.
yeah.
That was my first memories of
we'll
the
see,
San
yeah.
Siro. The opening game of the opening ceremony. That was,
So what iconic.
yeah, it is, yeah.
It's an iconic place, you know what I mean? Like, but listen, you go there, and then you go to the Emirates.
Different
No,
game.
Different gravy.
Different gravy. That's why I like that. Like different gravy. Coming up against Man United now Sunday, massive game. They fancy it, Man United.
They do.
I have to say, I think I don't know if he's going to be interim. I think that they've caught themselves a good one there with Carrick. I think
And look, he's brought in a good backup team, hasn't he?
good
Ben
backup
White's
start.
mate.
Ben White, yeah. So I do think, right, that he's a good manager, you know what I mean? Done well at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, he is.
Got a little bit of experience there. I think he's going to do a very, very good job. And the way they played against Man City was unbelievable. Can they sustain that? I don't know. Coming to the Emirates, are they going to play as open? They weren't that open. If I'll be honest, they hit Man City on the counter-attack on many a times. We've got to be wary of that. How we see this game going.
I still think they're pretty weak at the back, Lee. I still think we can get at them. I'm more confident than what I was against Forest away last week, put it that way. But I agree, this is not the Man United of a month ago. This is...
Yeah, listen, if Amram was coming down with his team, yeah, I'll be
very confident.
Very, very confident.
But Arsenal, Man U have always, it doesn't matter what era we're in, if we're 15th, they're first, or they're always big games, aren't they?
Yeah, massive.
Man United
Always have been.
always, and it'll be a big game Sunday. But we've got to, really, I'm not going to be sitting on the fence here. We've got to win.
I agree with you. I think we've got to win this one. Like,
100%.
right?
100%. It's a huge game. I was just thinking then, you know, some of the huge Arsenal Man U games over the years that we've had, and
Massive.
yeah, I mean 3 points is a must. Because
When was the last time when you think, like, I know over the last couple of years we've been massive favourites to beat them, like, you know what I mean? And we've been a better team over the last... going back to the game at Old Trafford, like, you know what I mean? We was favourites to win that game by 1-0. We didn't play very well that day, like, and they did. They played very well that day, Man United, but we still got the job
Remember,
done.
they knocked us out of the cup last year.
Knocked us out of the cup last year. They're always, do you know what? Even when they were dominating us and they were the better team, we'd go. You know, we went there, Welbeck, and got the cup, beat them, and knocked out. There's always been, you know, the odd result in the favour of the team that's not doing so well. Like, I remember going there and winning 1-0. I think Adebayor scored. I think.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they won the league that year, and so there are times when we can upset the apple cart. They can do it with us. It's a message. You know, the biggest team in the north versus the biggest team in the south. I've always said that, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Liverpool fans hate me or not, but that is the truth, like, you know what I mean? It's like the biggest, and I think there's always that special thing between Man United and Arsenal.
it's definitely the fixture that I look for when the season starts. And over the years, we've had some absolutely phenomenal games. I mean, and even a game that just takes me back, the recent one, I remember when Xhaka scored that, drilled it from outside the box, and then obviously there's the other one where Jesus goes down the other end and wins it. I think it was 2-2.
3-1, and that was the one where Garnacho, like 5 margins, was offside by a...
And there was that famous one where we done them in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sanchez, Walcott. Do you remember that? The 3-0?
Yeah.
But then, well, then I remember them coming here in the Champions League semi-final and humiliating us.
Destroying us.
Yeah.
Really. That's what I want. I've always... The one thing I've been a little bit annoyed about Arsenal over the last couple of years is that we've been far superior in a lot of teams, and we've never really smashed them. We've done it to Spurs this year, and I want Man United done, like, you know what I mean? I'm not being horrible. Chelsea done it to us. You humiliated us on a couple of occasions.
We don't do that, Lee.
We don't do that. I want, you know, one of these big boys humiliated.
City 5-1.
5-1. We've done that. That was nice.
I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. But I want us to do it. I want us to do that to Man United because they done it to us. When they were far superior than us, they made you feel it. I want to.
Who's the ref Sunday? That's the worry.
Well, I don't know the ref is. You know what I mean. Let us know in the comments who the ref is like. You know what I mean. But one of the things that I don't like about Man United fans, right, no, I'm not having a go at them when I say this, right? Whenever I went to Old Trafford when they was in their pomp, I was worried. There are a lot of them coming down to us now, thinking they're going to win. And I never done that when they was that good. And that's all. So we've got to squat them down
I'm quite
again,
happy
aren't
to
they?
hear. I want to hear that. I want to hear their players saying we can't wait to go Arsenal next week. Doku said it, didn't he, in an interview. We're going to the Emirates to win.
Right.
Fair
So
enough.
like, good. So like, you know, so like, we'll come to the end now. So quickly, like, what? I'm going to leave you to last, Chris, because you got it right last week, like with a draw. Like, I'm going to go. I'm hoping. I think 1-0, 2-0, but I'm praying for a 3-0, just to smash it. I want to smash Chris. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean. I want a statement win at the weekend.
3-1.
3-1, 2-0 nils. I want a statement win.
2-1 to the Arsenal.
2-1 to the Arsenal, like, you know what I mean. So we're all going to back the Arsenal to win this one.
Well, I think we've
So
got.
look, it's a massive, massive game. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you, Chris, for turning up on time as well. Like, you know what I mean? Well done.
Never really ended
Thanks
this.
for getting here, Marty.
Yeah,
when you
no, it's a
like,
pleasure,
when you
mate.
like Marty, we call him now. Like, you know. Thanks for making the effort. I'm Lee Judges. Thanks for watching the Invincible show, and we'll see you next week.